Hello, Whitney readers. Mrs. Bloch here to take you to the rest of our story, Dog Days by Karen English. I know you're wondering if that dog could be Carlotta, so let's jump right in. It's just then that Gavin realizes he's left proof that the dog is his aunt's on Richard's porch. Again, he looks both ways down the empty street and then dashes across. He gathers the flyers and hurries back to the group. "Look at this," he says, holding up a flyer close to Deja's nose. She bats at it and backs away, but she reads it. And her friend Nikki reads it too. "Have you seen this dog?" it says. "Her name is Carlotta, and she is the beloved companion of Mrs. Myrtle Roberts. She has orange-brown fur and was not wearing her collar when she ran off on Friday afternoon. She's been missing for the last 24 hours. If you see her or know where she is, please contact Myrtle Roberts at 555-3423. And here is a picture of the flyer that they've been putting up in the neighborhood to get Carlotta back. Under the paragraph is the picture of Carlotta. She has a jumbo pink bow in her hair. Nikki and Deja stare at it. They look down at Carlotta, still doing her sniffling routine, then back at the flyer. "Well, I want my leash and collar back," Nikki says sadly. "I knew it was too good to be true," she adds, more to herself than anyone else. "I'll give them back on Monday at school," Gavin says, scooping up Carlotta in his arms. Gavin feels like a real hero when he climbs the steps of his porch with Carlotta squirming in his arms. Richard is right behind him, probably not wanting to miss the hero's welcome his friend is about to receive. Before Richard can get the front door for Gavin, Uncle Vester opens it. When he sees them, his eyes grow big and his lips part, but no sound comes out. Then he yells, "Myrtle, get in here!" His voice brings Gavin's dad, back from posting flyers, and Gavin's mom running too. They stand there, staring together at Carlotta in stunned silence for a moment. It's as if they can't believe their eyes. "Where did you find her?" his mom finally asks, while Aunt Myrtle takes the dog out of his arms and gives her a hug. Danielle walks in the front door just then with a few leftover flyers in her hand. Even her mouth drops open at the sight of Carlotta. And here is a picture of everybody with their mouths open in shock and surprise that Gavin has found Carlotta. These two girls on Richard Street had her. They said they saved her from getting hit by a car, and that they didn't know she belonged to anyone because she didn't have a collar on. "It's a miracle," Aunt Myrtle says. "A miracle." She takes Carlotta into the living room and sits down on the sofa. Uncle Vester walks over to Gavin and pats him on the back. His father stands there beaming. His mother smiles at him as well. Even Danielle is smiling at him. Now that's a real miracle. "Well, Gavin, I think we need to do some settling up," Uncle Vester says. Gavin frowns, not sure what that means exactly. Uncle Vester takes out his wallet and extracts 2 tens. "Here's what I owe you for walking Carlotta." He hands over one of the 10s. "And this is what I owe you for finding Carlotta." He places the other 10 in Gavin's hand. Gavin stares at the richness in his possession and whispers, "Thank you." "Wow," says Richard appreciatively. But before Gavin can savor his wealth, Danielle marches over and plucks one of the 10s out of his hand. "Thanks. This belongs to me," she says, and struts off to her room. Gavin doesn't even mind. He is now finally free of his debt to his sister, Miss Danielle, Miss Know-It-All, Miss Just-Made Teenager status. Oh, how good it feels. Plus, he's got his own 10. This has been a great Saturday morning. Later, as he and Richard are gliding on their skateboard and scooter to Miller's Park, after all the goodbyes have been said to Aunt Myrtle and Uncle Vester and, of course, dear Carlotta, and the real choo-choo was handed over, Aunt Myrtle didn't even notice the difference. Gavin feels a strange little twinge, an odd feeling that he just might, maybe, perhaps, no, it couldn't be, and yet, somehow, he thinks it possibly could, miss Carlotta. And that would make 3 miracles in one day, Gavin thinks and smiles to himself. Then he pumps his foot against the concrete and sails past Richard toward the park. And that, my friend, is the end of Dog Days by Karen English. If you enjoyed this story, it happens to be one of a series called The Carver Chronicles, so you can read other books about Richard and Gavin and all the friends in the neighborhood. I hope you enjoyed the story.